Hey everyone, either welcome back or welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about some of the symptoms that I had this last time before I started feeling really bad. So not just this last week, but up before my last cycle. I noticed some really interesting symptoms that day. I want to share some of the symptoms that I experienced the day before I really wasn't feeling well the last time and share exactly what I was experiencing and all that. So before we get into any more details, time for the intro. Back in 2018, I was diagnosed with IIH. IIH is short for idiopathic intracranial hypertension. In short, in IIH, there's an increased intracranial pressure without a known cause. IIH is known by two older names, pseudotumor cerebri and benign intracranial hypertension. Living with IIH is very hard to explain to others, as it can be hard to tell when I'm not feeling well. My hope is that through these videos we can learn together and help make relationships better through a better understanding. I also hope to provide people living with IIH a community so they never feel like they are alone with this condition. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell down below so that you get updated about further videos. I upload new content every Monday and Thursday afternoon. This last time, I really wasn't feeling well. I was actually had to stop workouts for a week. It was really bad. This is one of the worst that I can remember in quite a long time. So I kind of want to talk about the day before. The day before, I had some really strange symptoms, and I just thought my brain was being frustrating, to be quite honest. I was just having a bad day, and then the next day, I really felt bad, and that's when I realized, I wonder if this was connected. So again, I'm not sure if this is connected to how I was feeling, but it would make sense. So this is just a pattern that I put together, completely anecdotal, and so don't take this as 100% truth, because this is just something that I particularly noticed this last time. I can't remember when this was, but I will put the date in the edit. I know it was, so the Saturday is, I remember the day of the week, I just don't remember the date. So it was a Saturday, and I was having trouble focusing on anything. In my meditation, when I do meditation with my eyes open, it teaches you to focus on the entire field of view. So what I was experiencing is very similar to this, but it was happening when I was trying to focus and do things as if I was still focusing on that plane of view, like what I do during my meditation, but it was like I almost couldn't focus on anything. So I was having trouble finding things when I was directly looking at them, because it felt like I wasn't looking at objects, I was looking at the whole view. It was very strange. And then my brain wasn't working right, so I was having trouble forming sentences, forming thoughts. Thankfully, I don't have to do this on the spot very much, but it was kind of difficult filming that day because the words weren't coming to me. Now, I do have trouble anyway sometimes putting thoughts together in a seamless way, which is why I do takes with this. I don't have a script. I refuse to do it with a script. It doesn't sound right. It sounds too pre-rehearsed. For me, it was like my brain was having trouble coming up with sentences. It was having trouble coming up with words. I really was having trouble focusing. I was getting frustrated with what I was and wasn't able to do. It just felt like I was battling my brain. My brain was like on vacation. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that when you were studying or taking an exam or something, but it just felt like your brain wasn't able to focus on what you were doing. I actually had this happen quite a bit in school, but it wasn't related to anything to do with my head up until the point where I was in my last semester. The focusing issue was a real big problem, and I do remember that being an issue from when I was in school, but this time it was really noticeable. And particularly with focusing on objects, it was just like I was spaced out or something. Like my brain just wasn't clicking like it should. I was getting super frustrated. I actually thought I might be going through flare-up symptoms then, but I wasn't sure. once I started having trouble with focusing because remember that being a problem from before. But then when I started getting the muscle pain the next day, I knew I'm just like, oh no, okay, so that might have been related. Again, this is all my experience, so I don't really know if this is a thing or not, but it is very interesting because it is quite consistent with what I've had trouble with before. It was really interesting to catch on to this. I don't know how I was able to catch on to this time. I don't remember anything similar happening before that would indicate these kind of problems happening in the last little bit, but my medication was doing such a good job at controlling a lot of my symptoms, and then now having it reduced, I think I'm just picking up on more things, and maybe my symptoms are a little bit stronger than what they were because I am on a lower dose. But this is definitely something I'm going to be having to bring up to my doctor. Another reason why I may have not picked up on this is because the times when I'm having the most trouble with my symptoms, I actually don't remember much of it. So, like, I almost have to either film or write things down when I'm experiencing symptoms because when I come out of that, those few days where I've had really, really bad symptoms, I often don't remember what I've gone through, which makes it really, really difficult to communicate to people how I've been feeling because my brain doesn't work properly and then all of a sudden it does and then I don't remember anything. And it's really, really hard to describe. There's almost like a little bit of memory loss when I'm experiencing the most amount of symptoms. Let me know if you guys have trouble with any memory issues when after you've had a flare up in symptoms as well. I'd love to hear it down below. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as for now, that's it for today. Bye everyone.